Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another video. It's been a while, but today we're working on this Kawasaki z1000sx. We're installing a Blackwidow exhaust set. This is a 4-to-1, because normally this motorbike comes with a 4-to-2. 4 pipes leading from the head of the block down to 2 exhausts, one on each side. The reason why we're changing it is because it's not very handy. It does look cool for some, but it's not very handy. It's very in the way, it's quite heavy. We want to get a bit more sporty, a bit more power out of this bike, so we're going to a 4-to-1 system. Meaning we're still going to get 4 out of the block, of course, but instead of 2 exhausts, we now just have 1. So here we have our 4-to-1 set. Lovely packaging, very nice muffler from Blackwidow. You can actually remove the decibel killer fairly easy on this one by removing the bolt on the bottom. And here we have all the clean, shiny looking pipework that we all have to put together and then mount under the bike. First thing we're going to do is remove some panels. So working on these Kawasaki's is pretty straightforward. What you want to do is remove any panels that are around the instrument cluster, because that way you can remove safely the side panels on both sides. This bike also has sliders, so we're going to take those off as well. Everything is kind of held up in place by some plastic bits that click into the frame and some Allen bolts, so it's very simple to get to everything and to remove it. Just be sure that you disconnect the indicators on both sides before taking the panels off completely, otherwise you might tear those cables up. After that, it's super easy to get to the headers that are behind the radiator, and from there on we can move down to the exhaust system and completely disconnect everything. And of course you also need to remove both of the mufflers. These are very simple to remove, an Allen key here and a nut in the back, and then the clamps on the actual tubes that hold them into place. Just undo those and you can pull out the exhaust. So once you've removed both panels, you can start to undo the nuts that hold the pipes into place. They are underneath here. It's a 12mm socket. Best is to use a swivel mount on your sockets, which is something like this. You can get to all the tricky corners with it. Just undo those. I wouldn't undo them completely. Just leave the bolts on a little bit so that this doesn't fall down or damage anything. Because afterwards we go down to the catalytic converter, the bottom bracket mount of the motorbike, and we undo that one as well. After that we can completely take the exhaust down in one motion. So now that everything is out of the way, you've also unscrewed the O2 sensor. You can disconnect the Allen bolt holding the main catalytic converter in place. Disconnect all the other bolts or nuts that hold the headers in place. And then you can slowly take everything off. So I'll support this one. Take the bolt out. There we go. And that's it. Quick and easy. So when you take the exhaust off, inside here there's a copper ring. It's called a crush washer. You want to make sure you replace those with some new fresh ones, because the ones there could be ruptured, could be torn when you take the old exhaust off, and when you then place a new exhaust on top it could cause an exhaust leak, which is the last thing you want, obviously. So first thing, we're going to install all of these separate header pipes as per the manual. You want to install them loosely in place, not tighten them up fully yet. And what they recommend is that first you dry fit the system, meaning you install the entire system with springs and everything to make sure it fits correctly before you use the included exhaust assembly paste. I'm pretty sure this fits. I've had it before. I'll be using this assembly paste right away because I know my exhaust system fits properly, and you can apply it on the mounting parts where the next part of the exhaust is connected to. Just use a little bit, use a glove to smear it around the edges so that it's nicely sealed, and then once you slide on the next part, this will harden out and completely seal it, avoiding any exhaust leaks in the system.